Aaron. Oh, the light like snow, tell secrets of long ago. Carols from the fields we know. Oh, the light like snow, whisper softly on the wind as memories come flowing. Once the candles on the tree falls, soft light and night blossom. Then the quiet of the winter night was filled with wonder and pure delight. Oh, the light of snow tells secrets of long ago, of carol songs of this we've known. Oh, the light like snow whispers softly on the wind as memories come flowing as the light of snow falls alone. Oh, the light snow drifting down so soft and slow outside my window. I watch it go. Oh, the lilac snow. Though the world may seem so still, it's coming in a distant chill with the memory of winters past, of the ones I